Sportsnet Lakers. I'm Chris McGee. Joining me is Allie Clifton, and from the LA Times, BT, Brad Turner. How we doing, people?
Man, it's hot.
It's hot. Do you have air conditioning where you're at, BT?
I live in Pasadena. If I didn't, it'd be like living in HE. Well,
yeah,
I'll stop there.
Let's leave it at that. Allie, I feel like you're close, but yet so far away. It's nice and cool in here.
I know. I feel like I'm freezing. I actually almost just went to the locker room to get a blanket.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Because, by the way, BT, it's been 7 years, but the Lakers are back in the playoffs, taking on the Blazers in the first round. First game is going to be on Tuesday. Game 2 and 3 are on Thursday and Saturday. Game 4 is on August 24th. Now, remember, all games but Game 3 can be seen right here on Spectrum Sportsnet, which is very cool. For more on the matchup with the Blazers, let's hear from head coach Frank Vogel.
Definitely not your typical 8 seed. They played at an elite level during this stretch in the bubble, at least offensively. And we've got a ton of respect for Dame and CJ and Nurkic, but really for their whole team and their whole culture. They got a system that's been together for a number of years. They have the continuity piece, conference finals last year, so just a ton of respect for what they're bringing to the table.
What are the biggest challenges that you think Portland presents for you guys?
Well, you got the hottest player in the league. You can start there. They got great three-point shooting support and a great coach.
They've been playing extremely well. They did everything in their power to make the playoffs. They're a good team. They're hot right now. And so it's definitely going to be a test for us, but a good test. But we're going to be ready to go out there and compete. Obviously, their team looks a little different from before the hiatus, but we got time to prepare and plan for them, and try to go and get the win.
What's Dame Lillard's reputation around the league amongst his peers, and how do you view playing an opponent led by Dame Lillard?
He's balling right now. He's hot. He's doing whatever he's doing. Whatever he can do to make his team win. He's carrying the load, playing a ton of minutes. And so, he's ahead of the snake for their team. And you got to do the best to contain him and take away some of his tendencies. But they also have other guys to make plays as well. So they're a tough opponent. But everybody knows what level he's on in his mindset. And that's to go out there and do whatever he can to help his team win.
So Lakers making the playoffs for the first time in 7 years, guys. And truthfully, LeBron has done an incredible job with leadership on and off the floor this season. Allie, what should we expect to see from playoff LeBron? You've seen it up close and personal so many times, but remember, in LA, they haven't.
It's very true, but the only difference for me and what I've seen in the past is that it wasn't 2020. So let's put everything on the table in terms of he's made it very clear. Things are different right now, but what you can expect, 100% everything is heightened. Physically, mentally, his attention to detail on both ends of the floor. There's no smiling, there's no joking when it comes to LeBron James during this time of year. In win, lose, or draw, he approaches every game one of a series as kind of a feel-out game. So it's an opportunity that then sets the table, dictates how and which way he has to play for the rest of the series. But it is something that I know you guys will all feel it come Tuesday. It's hard really to describe, but whether it's his ability to get downhill, the way he's shooting the basketball, it's just a different feel. And you just know that it's the difference between LeBron James come postseason versus 82 games regular season LeBron.
Yeah, Allie, I mean, for me, I've watched it from afar for so many years. I'm really pumped to see him wearing a Laker uniform and doing it. And BT, you've been around for a lot of Laker teams. You've seen great ones. You've seen bad ones. How impressed have you been with LeBron and this team this season?
No, very much so. Al, you know what I did? I talked to one of LeBron's former coaches, Larry Drew.
Oh.
The first thing he said was, don't ever count out Bron.
Mm-hmm.
He's a different animal. He's a different beast in the playoffs. So hearing that from Larry Drew, who, by the way, used to play for the Lakers, was an assistant coach with the Lakers, he knows a lot about basketball. And the idea that LeBron James is here. Look, we've seen Kobe, we've seen Shaq, we've seen Jerry West over the years. We've seen a lot of greats, Magic Johnson. LeBron James is in that mode. I think Laker fans should be excited and happy because I expect to see the Lakers follow LeBron's lead like they have all season long.
And listen, we haven't seen a duo like this since Kobe and Shaq in terms of the star power when it comes to AD and LeBron. Sure, Kobe and Powell won 2 titles. They complement each other so well. Is there a more complete duo in LeBron and AD in this playoffs? Allie?
No, I haven't spoken to him.
Oh, go ahead, BT.
I know. Sorry about this, Allison.
You got it. You got it. It's all you. We haven't heard from you in a while, so feel free.
Yeah, he just said he left it out there. Look, when I talk to a bunch of scouts and coaches the last 2 weeks, all they tell me is that LeBron and AD, they are the best duo in the NBA. That's saying a lot because you have Kawhi and Paul, the Clippers. You have Dame and CJ with Portland. I mean, there are a lot of really great duos out there, but the two of them, LeBron and AD, they can do so much. They can do so much damage. I think because of that, that gives the Lakers an advantage over everyone else. Now, to quote Shaq, you have to have the others provide big moments, which can happen. But if you have AD and LeBron James, you increase your chances of winning games, winning the series, and winning a championship.
That is a good point that you make and good insight from other scouts, BT, because obviously we cover the Lakers, so we see them night in and night out. But I think just to add to that point, the one thing that I believe this Laker duo in LeBron James and Anthony Davis has that other teams do not possess with their duos, and no disrespect to them because they are great, the size, the athleticism, the skill. They are 6'9" and above between he and Anthony Davis, LeBron James. LeBron James is 260. He can guard, he can play offense, every position on the floor. AD, 4 of the 5 positions. So when you put them out there, and we talked about it a lot on this show, their relationship off the floor, too, has made the seamless transition so fun and easy to watch and has allowed the Lakers to elevate and win as much as they have here in their first season together. Because they've got it both on and off the floor. And I think that's where they really separate themselves. Not to mention, whenever you talk about duos in today's game, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, the majority will tell you they're 2 of the top 5 players in today's game.
I just love that you two are in playoff mode, and the Lakers are taking on the Blazers in round 1 of the playoffs. And here's how the duos for each team match up. Both duos account for over 50 points a game. If you look at Dame at 30, CJ at 22.2, LeBron at 25, AD at 26. After Portland won the play-in game, Dame Time discussed the upcoming matchup with the purple and gold.
I mean, I've been seeing everybody saying, you know, what we're going to do to the Lakers. But the Lakers, they're the #1 seed in the West for a reason. They got the best player in the world on their team. But at the same time, we didn't fight as hard as we fought in the bubble to just say, all right, we the 8th seed and go out here and just get beat up on. We feel like we have a chance in the series against anybody in this league. We feel like we got a chance in this series, and that's how we go approach it. You know, but we go approach it with a healthy level of respect for them, for ourselves, not as far as what anybody else has to say or what other people think. We respect them for who they are, and we have enough belief in ourselves to go into it feeling like we can win the series. You know, I think it's that simple.
A lot of adversity as a team, historically, but especially this year. Injuries, obviously, dealing with a lot of different things, having to get adjusted and accustomed to new rotations. But I think all in all, that just kind of shows that we're battle tested. We have a lot of guys who understand the goal at hand, understand the task at hand, and are willing to make sacrifices and do whatever it takes for us to get to the promised land.
I know, whenever you have these big games, big shots, a lot of people on social media are just like, he's back, he's hitting the groove, but so much of basketball is situational. And I know that you feel like, I never really left. Like, is that what it's like for you?
Yeah, it's no, I'm back. I've been doing this for a long time. I had some obstacles that I had to overcome throughout the past couple years, but it's all about basketball now. Just making plays, being comfortable in what you're doing, believing in your team, teammates believing in you. This is nothing new. I'm just happy to be playing and happy to be in this situation. But all this I'm back is, I had a break and now I'm here now.
What a story, Carmelo. Look at these crazy numbers. They're the highest scoring averages playing against the Lakers in NBA history. Look at the names. Wilt, Kareem, MJ, And then Dame time.
Is that because of the bubble?
No, that's just his
With
numbers
Dame?
versus the Lakers. It's just the
man.
Lakers. He's 4th all time in the history of the association. Don't panic, Allie. But this is why Laker fans kind of love, and they absolutely, for sure, respect Dame, because they've seen it from day one, guys. How ridiculous of a run has Dame been on, Allie?
51, 61, 42, and 12 assists. His last 3 games. Are we serious? This is a guy who, we talk about the Lakers all the time. They didn't want to just talk about it. They wanted to be about it. And that's what Damian Lillard has always been throughout his career. He's never been just one to talk. He shows up and he backs it up. And he said the Portland Trail Blazers were not going to the Orlando bubble to play 8 games and be sent home. And he went out. He has a sidekick in the backcourt in CJ McCollum, who that's been one of the best tandems in the NBA for the last 5-6 years, playing with a fracture in his back. And Dame puts him on their shoulders when they need it the most, and he shows up. It's historic what we've seen from him so far.
What do you do to slow him down?
You can't give him a steady diet. It's one thing that I loved what I saw, especially from the Brooklyn Nets, which was a game that they had to win to even get to that play-in game, the Portland Trail Blazers. But no steady diet. You got to show him different looks. You got to be physical with him, make him uncomfortable. This is where the Lakers, who prided themselves on defense all season long, were top 5 defensive team throughout the regular season. They have to show up because you're already without a guy like Avery Bradley who can defend the perimeter like he can with such intensity and aggression. But now your attention to detail that has to be on Damian Lillard, your second and third line of rotations must be just as sharp. It's going to be a team effort.
BT, you see how fans talk about him. You see how his peers in the league talk about him. Dame is just one of those guys. He gets it done, man.
How about this right quick? How cool was CJ with the shades on?
Yeah. That was nice. That was nice.
That was cool. I thought about myself for a second.
I
Real
knew
cool
it.
dudes.
You wish.
Well, okay, I do wish. But what I love about Damian Lillard is the respect he has for the Lakers, for LeBron James, for AD, but also the respect he has for his team and what they've done. Knowing that, yes, we respect the Lakers. We respect what they've done, their franchise. But my guys are here to win a series. We're not trying to say we would definitely beat the Lakers, but we got here for a reason, because we want to advance to the next round